It's 2025 and are you still struggling to find yourself a freehold property around $4 million? Then this episode is for you.
Welcome to another episode of Property Roundtable with myself and Rama, value adding to your journey of finding or selling a landed property in Singapore.
Wow, our first time, two of us, bro.
Yes, first time two of us. To our regular viewers out there, as mentioned in the previous episode, I think it's PRT 2.0.
Yep.
Now just Rama and myself for the time being, and we'll see how things evolve.
Yep.
Rama, interesting hook you have there.
Yep.
It's in 2025. All the landed homeowners out there, 1 year has changed, but the budget never changed.
Yes.
So,
but interestingly, I got more listing to show now. In
under
the
4
recent
million.
time. Yes. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whereabouts? Is it those like really like, like shit home, then you have to like rebuild kind or what? Like,
You see, bro, like we say, right, when you go to any property portal, you use the filters, right?
Yes.
Usually, the buyer's filter is very high one, high level until you cannot find any listing one.
Correct.
So this time around, both my buyers were still selling, in the process of selling the HDB. Then they want to upgrade to landed.
Okay.
But they were like, damn cool one. It's okay. I just want landed property in this area. Can already. This is my very few filters.
So they just want a landed property per se lah.
But the filters, the criteria are not very tedious one.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's safe. Okay.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do now? But even before they send me listing. Then I was like, huh? Wow, so many listing under 4 or around 4 lah. Then I see the size all above 1,600.
Okay.
The land size.
Okay.
I was like, do you want to guess where these places are?
Yeah. Maybe you can comment below. And if you're one of the owners of the properties below 4 million and hoping to break through that, so let us know.
I still cannot sell them. Let us know.
I think this is a pain point that a lot of people are finding in today's market, because more often than not, we always say that hey, you need a budget of above $4 million. But really below 4 million, what can you get? So Rama, your client is in the process of finding a landed property below $4 million. Right. So in recent times, they have sent you some listings, maybe just for sharing with our viewers out there. Whereabouts? Maybe just one or two examples, like where can you find such properties?
Okay. The first one, there are two different buyers. Okay. Both of them chose two different locations, which is amazing. Okay. Yeah. So I actually cross over them. You want to see this side? No?
I mean like specific locations or like a few districts or what?
It's a specific location, but it has got like, one of the locations is just one estate by itself.
Okay. Can
the
share
other one?
Estate?
Yes, of course.
But later they compete with your buyer house.
Who compete?
Our viewers.
Never mind our viewers. Okay. So anyway, the first one is somewhere near Yio Chu Kang. Okay. It's called Sunrise Estate. Okay. So it was very interesting because most of the houses there are cookie cutter. That means they all look the same. Okay. And surprisingly, 3-story.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were all built quite some time back. And they were all under 3 million. Under 4 million or around the 4 million range.
Yeah.
Okay. And not bad. Some of them were actually renovated.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I was wondering to myself, that's a good land size, good build up.
Then why below 4 million?
Wow. Then I see, 1 or 2 units at the far end of Sunrise, right?
Okay.
Were near or rather parametering Ang Mo Kwi camp.
Amoy Kui. Yes, I was from Amoy Kui.
I also go and
artillery. 20 SA. Boleo, but I was there.
Correct.
So I can understand why some of these parameters and characteristics are so important.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Landed is a sought after segment. We all know that. There are multiple landed buyers out there. But landed buyers being landed buyers, right? They want everything. They want location, they want capital upside. Then it just happens that this specific location, which I know very well, and Rama knows as well, there are nuances lah. Like maybe not much amenities around.
Yes, but you still can go NTUC online and order everything. Within one day they sell.
You stay anywhere in Singapore also okay. Online NTUC.
I mean, this is more important for people living there lah.
Correct. Or there is a lack of draw lah. Like it's not so much of excitement. It's not like for example, like Serangoon Gardens, right? There's a lot of like stalls and stuff. Then 2 is probably maybe a lack of school. So after primary school?
School, not really, because bro, that is one hell of a filter when you come to this kind of price range. You put the school there,
no more.
Bro, even other place also difficult one.
Yeah,
okay.
correct.
Yeah.
So if So basically, the amenities are a bit lacking. I think schools are out and transport. Yes,
Yeah.
I think you literally probably have to drive. If not, you walk out. It's quite far.
So when we say transport, right, people like to have the MRT station just right outside your doorstep lah.
Yeah.
But this one you don't have MRT station. Your bus stop also a bit far lah.
Okay lah, the ones around the boundary is still can lah.
Yeah. So you also don't have I don't know which estate or GRC, this one don't have sheltered to your house. All these don't have So if rain then die lah, must use umbrella. Then but still got Grab bro.
Yeah. So okay, let's just say Sunrise is one of these areas. What about the other area that your other clients to get?
Wow, this one is you really need heart of steel.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's a preference. It's a choice.
Wow, really must steal, bro.
This is very near the Singapore women's prison lah. Okay?
That's why heart of steel is it?
Yeah. I mean, again, people say lah, when they escape, they will run far away lah, not to the nearest place lah. This is a thing we always joke, right?
No, the most dangerous place is the safest. 最危险的地方就是最安全的地方. They just go behind. No lah, just kidding.
So yeah, I know this
I
place.
used to stay around there leh.
Where?
I stay Loyang ma last time.
Wow, bro.
I stay around there,
No
bro.
wonder you also heart of steel lah, bro.
Bro, then just now the Sunrise one, I was there. I stayed there really during my NS days. Then now this one, I also stayed there, bro. Like my parents used to stay there. I grew up in Loyang, bro.
Well, if you guys want to know the exact road name, and this is even more interesting, this is Tanah Merah Besar Lane. Very long name, okay? But guess what? It's a semi-D leh.
Wow, wholesale.
Oh, freehold leh, or 999 lah.
Yeah.
Wow, lao bro, new leh, some of them.
Yes.
And then at this price, but would you buy? But there are people who are willing to buy.
Yeah. So again, right, in the marketplace, right, when people say that they cannot find something at a certain budget, right, it is not like that. I mean, it's the same for HDB, for example. People say that, all the flats becoming expensive, $1 million. Actually, there's still a lot of alternatives out there.
Yep.
Same for the landed segment. I think for a specific budget, right, there's still available houses that are not like your so-called tear downs, not like your single story. If we go down to the basics, right, where the land is most important, right, then of course the popular districts is just land alone will still continue to be sought after. But if you need a little bit of both, you need the balance between having a decent sized land and a structure, and yet you don't want to buy a leasehold, right? Perhaps these areas are areas that will still be able to offer you a position in the landed segment. But Rama, when your clients say, okay, I mean, since a real life example, when your clients say they're okay they send you listings like that, right? Why are they so? What kind of profile are they? Why so comfortable with staying at this location whilst others don't want?
Wow, you asked me this question. This is a good question, but very good question. Okay, like I said, when we want everything. Okay. But you must also understand what is available for the price range at this particular market. Okay. Of course, you have to compromise on certain things.
Yes.
But sometimes, right, when you go for viewing, but I'm being particular to this buyer. Okay. This Tanah Merah Besar Lane, although it's a semi-D, okay, if you just come out of the women's prison on the opposite sides where Toh Drive, right? Mariam and all these things, there are houses there as well, also around 4 million or under 4, but they're not semi-Ds, they are terrace houses. They're also cookie cutter.
Correct.
Okay, those are also nice. They not say must buy a semi-D. They just want a landed property with decent size, whatever rooms can already. Okay. But to them, right, as they see all this that's available in the rest of the Singapore, okay, they don't find value because it may be a 2-story zoning, or even if it's 2-story zoning, wow, the house super original condition, they need to do massive reno and everything. But whereas these places, right, when they see something, I do a little bit renovation can already, because these houses are pretty much well kept. Those that I saw lah.
I think in 2025, if everything remains status quo, I don't think we're gonna have a great showing in on the economy side, right? We started the year with quite a lot of flux in terms of what, like, all the tariff wars and stuff. Although we have had a reprieve for 90 days, right? But I think nothing's really certain. But stock markets have been doing well. But in that regard, right, the buyers that we're serving today, right, actually 80-90% of them are still very traditional. They are still looking for your District 19, District 20, District 15. And those who are a little bit more like adventurous, they look around the fringe districts. But today, this topic, we're talking about people who are taking a position in districts that, I mean, short of saying, not as popular when people select a landed property.
Yep.
But it allows them to get a position in. Then, Rama, can I then ask you, do you think that when your buyers buy this, right, are they looking to stay or forever home, or they still expect an exit with a profit?
Okay. This was the exact question I asked them. But you know why I asked them this question?
Why?
Because when they decide to exit, I have to sell it. So I also want to know when they want to exit. Okay.
Correct.
So ask them. So sir,
why you scared?
No lah, bro. You see, viewers, you must understand okay, what my opinion is doesn't matter. Okay, I can show, I can advise, we can do all these things. But if you like something, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah,
because
it's your choice, it's your house, ma.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So I've learned how to shut up at sometimes. At some point. But then I will want to ask, so how long you plan to hold on to this?
So what are their general plans?
Okay, they want to stay there for at least 10 years. They want to have a feel of how landed property living is.
Yeah.
They know that this is their prime working years.
Yes.
So they know they're not afraid of not being able to service the loan or anything. Of course, all this is done before already, right? So they know for the next 10 years we are good to go because we are fit, we are working, we are in our prime work years. We're going to do this.
Yes.
I want to give my kids an experience.
Yes.
It's okay. They are already in whatever schools that they are in.
True.
It's okay. We can drive them or we can get them a Grab, whatever it is.
Correct.
Okay. But after 10 years, I may want to change. I may want to downgrade to a condo depending whether I like the lifestyle here. Or maybe I just want to make a quick buck because I believe in landed. It doesn't matter which district. I only believe in one district, 65.
Okay, great. I think that's a very good perspective. I have another perspective to people who buy such landed properties in locations that are deemed less popular.
Okay.
If your timeline is 10 years, and it's like you want to test out the landed scene, and the next move perhaps is like you're going to downsize, for example. If you get used to the amenities around there, and prices are not getting cheaper anywhere in Singapore anyway, but if you get used to such locations, I think the surrounding public housing, for example, they trade less than the prime districts anyway, which means that if you're going to replace a home next time and still be within your comfort zone, right, it's going to be cheaper. So today you buy something that's already cheaper. You sell it, you likely still make a profit.
Yes.
But if you take your profit and then you replace it with something public housing around there, right, it's actually going to be cheaper than the rest of Singapore anyway.
Yep.
So it's a good real estate downsizing plan going into the future.
Yep.
But two is, let's say you say, hey, how do I make the money? I don't actually need to go into public housing. I can still buy condos. And you will find that condos near these areas may or may not be trading at a premium as well. Because if let's say you can buy a landed property for 4 million around there, I doubt the big units for condos are able to fetch 4 million, right? So it's very likely that you will also be able to transit into a bigger size condo unit for let's say less than $2 million in that area as well. So it's a very long-term plan in terms of your real estate progression. But if you want a stake in landed, but yet you also want things to be not so stressful for yourself, instead of always thinking how much can I gain from this position, is think of the outlay that you come out for this position first, and then look at the profits in terms of percentage gain. And then with that percentage gain, let's say you make $1 million out of it. What does $1 million plus afford you around there? So it's a good long-term landed to maybe retirement strategy.
Exactly. So, bro, I just want to say exactly what you said, but I'm going to give an example of this client who is looking at this particular area. Okay. They actually, the husband owns a HDB.
Correct.
Okay. Single name.
Okay.
If you want to know how, your message us then I'll tell you how. Okay. That's possible to buy HDB under one name. Although you're not one name. Okay. But the wife, after some period of time, bought a EC.
Yes.
I mean, I bought for them. Okay.
Yeah.
So This was the strategy for them.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't decouple or anything because they just had their names free, right?
Yeah.
So they bought. So they've been staying in these properties for the last 10 years. Of course, one being rented out, okay, and servicing the other. So that was the strategy at that point in time. So now that they have come to this point, right, they realize, okay, it's time. I'm in my prime years. I need to go for my landed.
Yeah.
This is the right moment. So they are selling this too.
Yeah.
You see the strategy now change.
Yes.
That again, the earlier one was a strategy itself.
Yes.
But that was for then.
Yes.
So now the strategy changed to landed, and then they're going to travel this for another 10 years.
Yes.
And then they reach the older age, the retirement. But it's not just for retirement, bro. They also told me one more thing.
Yeah.
I think my kids no matter how good they are, they're going to find it very difficult to buy properties in the future.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
it's a bit legacy.
I want to just leave this behind for them.
Yeah,
So
possible.
they have a head start.
Possible.
I thought that was like really nice. I wish I had parents like that.
We all do.
Yeah.
But luckily we have knowledge, so we're not afraid. So in this example that Rama shared, right, it also shows how dynamic people are in terms of what they can do, but always advised because under advice. Because what they have done so far, right, was always with, let's say, Rama's advice, right, they have planned it in a certain way already, which allows them to be dynamic in their future real estate plans. So what is your future goal? You start with the future goal in mind and then you start planning today. At the table, right, we have always advised people with an eye that they will exit. It is not about you saying it's a forever home, because that is your dream and your aspiration. But as times move and things change, right, there could always be that case where you may need to exit the position for whatever reason. Be it your family expand or be it that you're moving out of Singapore. There are more people who are looking at even like moving overseas in future. All these things stack up to your future plans, which is therefore important for us to let you know that if you need to exit, what are your potential obstacles or what is your potential downside or upside that you should be looking at. But don't worry, because Rama made one statement that we should all remember. There is only one district. It is Palas 65. So again, this topic today, right, is truly driven by a lot of pain points. We as realtors often face the problem like our buyers tell us, hey, 4 million can find something, We always tell them very difficult. But we tell them very difficult because the places that they want to buy, really very difficult. If we tell them this occasion, say, wow, Havi, cannot lah, this one, my husband say too far, my husband say too far. But it really depends. Maybe if your pilot is not too far. Maybe if you are working near Seletar, it's not too far. So, or like aerospace. So again, we continue to want to share with you what the pain points. We continue to tell you that there are a lot of things that you need to plan for, even if you didn't think about it. What you don't know that you don't know is quite impactful, because if you make one wrong move, it's a house of cards. One down, it may affect your future.
It's like how our friend yesterday said, like, you put your shoes in my shoes.
You put your shoes in my shoes, yeah. Put your shoes in my shoes. Right, not Simon. But anyway, again, thanks for watching. Please feel free to contact us with our link below. We are in the process of changing things, so if you find a link below, just contact us there. Or if not, you can still reach out to Rama and I individually to get a meeting set up, and we will continue to endeavor to bring value to your journey of buying and selling your landed property in Singapore. And if you have not liked or subscribed or shared the video, please do, especially the ones who have been watching us for so long. I also want to congratulate the clients that we were involved with the brokerage of in Lorong Wilty, in Kew Heights, in Eastwood, in Lychee. Thank you so much. And also say hi to the owners that I met in like is it Lorong Punai or Jalan Punai? And thanks for saying hi to me, and also to shout out to Rama as well. We will come by to your estate near you very soon. So thank you, and see you in our next episode.
Vote PRT.